What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I normally like to start the day with a more meme-heavy video. In fact, I've got a pretty hilarious Sherlock Holmes 3 video coming a little bit later today, but I've got to be honest, this is kind of a personal video for me. I like Donut Operator. I don't know if you know who he is on YouTube, but he's a former police officer, and he will critique videos involving stops and things like that. Interesting, entertaining YouTuber, in my opinion. Maybe not for everybody, of course. But what this video is really more about is the what he shows that YouTube has a huge problem with creators being able to be manipulated by misuses of their system, and I'm absolutely sick of it. Now, it might not sound like I'm all that angry because, well, it's early in the morning and I had a bit of a late night, but I assure you I am. This is getting ridiculous. As a creator, we already have to deal with giant, super huge mega corporations claiming our videos for a variety of reasons and sucking profit away from us, and with no real way to fight back against it. I mean, it's not like there's money in the FUPA fund to do it. It's not like the average person is going to be able to launch a suit to protect themselves from Warner Brothers Chapel Hill for claiming 18 seconds of their video. Now, once or twice, you might think, how much money are they really making off of this? Well, the way they do it is with an automated bot, and they're claiming tens of thousands of videos probably every single day. Make no mistake about it, this is a gigantic revenue stream for what can only be described as copyright trolls. YouTube allows this to exist because they don't want to get involved unless it's apparently Susie Liu. On top of that, there's a new way that creators are getting griefed, is the only way I could describe it. And that's this closed captioning complaint bull. If there is no penalty for it, why am I still getting emails every dang day from YouTube saying there's a complaint about your video, there's a complaint about your video, there's a complaint about your video? Don't you think that for a company that cares so much about their creators' mental health, that maybe it's not a great idea to subject them to scary emails from YouTube? You know, a single strike is all it takes to put a YouTube channel on the sideline for an entire week, costing that channel all of their revenue for that week. And if it's a channel like me, you're talking about robbing not only me, but my viewers of 30 plus videos. But yeah, no, who cares? Who cares about that, right? Just let these people continue to flag videos because they're mad that somebody made fun of their favorite content creator or somebody exposed them. Yeah, just keep letting that happen. And there's a whole nother problem with another system called the privacy complaint system, which is exactly what Donut Operator exposed. I get privacy complaints from time to time, usually once or twice a week, and I ignore 100% of them. However, that's not smart. I have had fellow YouTubers have videos taken down and having strikes received and the videos deleted for not blurring something that was publicly available. I'm not just talking about Susie here. I'm talking about anybody wants to submit a privacy complaint, they can do so. And if whatever anonymous person in an Indian call center for YouTube decides that, well, yep, American law says I need to protect this person, they will delete your video. And Donut Operator puts together a perfect example of how people are using the system to screw over creators and essentially bully them into not covering what they have every right to cover and expose what they have every right to expose. If we look at this tweet thread, it's ridiculous. It says, "The guy told me to end myself and wished harm on my family, then filed a privacy complaint to remove the part where I read this message on video. If you think I'm going to do that, you're out of your mind." See, I agree with Donut here. This is the exact approach that I also take. However, the system is so flawed that they end up deleting your video anyway, even if the stuff is publicly available. Let's take a look at the kind of email that you get from YouTube, because most people don't even understand what the heck it even means. So when somebody files a privacy complaint, you get this email. Dear whatever YouTuber, right? This is to notify you that we've received a privacy complaint from the individual regarding your content. Now, this is classic YouTube. This is, well, we just provide the systems for people to abuse. We don't actually put anything into place to prevent it. That would be crazy. So then you have a link to a YouTube video. The information reported as violating privacy is at 0045 to 0052. Now, most people look at that and they're like, what? What that actually is a timestamp in the video. Of course, we would like to give you an opportunity to remove or edit the private information within the content reported. Now, the people that actually have to report this stuff, right? The people that get to essentially harass YouTube creators, they don't have to provide any evidence whatsoever that that information was private. They don't have to provide any evidence whatsoever that they are in fact even the person filing the complaint. I've gotten privacy complaints from Susie Liu, and Lord knows there's no way she's foolish enough to continue to do that. It continues. After 48 hours of this notice, we will review the complaint for potential violations of our privacy guidelines and then consider restricting the content. Now, who reviews this? Well, I'm sure some untrained person in an Indian call center, or I should say offshore call center. I don't want to single out Indian. Now, look, I've worked with a lot of Indian call centers. My background is in call centers. A lot of great people. Problem is, they need so many people and they review so many cases a day, there's 0% chance they could possibly understand all the nuance with this. But whatever, just delete a video. In this particular case, it's a video that has, let's see, almost 600,000 views. I called some kid a name and now Twitter wants me to off myself. What was going on in this video? Well, he was reacting to a young kid who was, I don't know, stunning and brave in his interactions with the authorities. Now, I'm not a fan of overreaching, but also I'm not foolish enough to think that, oh, well, every time a police officer stops somebody, it's because of racism. The kid was with another kid who was busted shoplifting. This kid was recording videos so he could post them on the internet, acting all tough and saying horrendous things to the officers, okay? So what Donut Operator said here, in my opinion, was absolutely correct. But Twitter, of course, lost their proverbial minds and sent him all sorts of stuff. You know, you mad because you used to be a cop, you effing ped, mustache having, blah, 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 sending pig emotes. You're a poo head, delete yourself. Well, you notice this particular tweet, right? This particular tweet, which I will show as well, in solidarity with Donut Operator. A brave soul on Twitter said, you're a expletive, end yourself. I can't wait till you snap and end your whole family and then end yourself. You're a tiny-brained Neanderthal, savage expletive, dumb, whatever, end your... I can't even read half of this stuff. This is what YouTube is protecting. This is the message that YouTube is protecting, okay? So what happens next? Well, you can see he posts the YouTube support team. Then, obviously, the screenshot to the message. Now, at no point have I seen Team YouTube reply to this. So, Pimpmaster Broda says, shouldn't have taken your video down. A kid wanted attention and you gave it to him. You should get a Father of the Year award for that. I didn't take it down. Oh, I thought you nuked the video. Well, at no point do I see Team YouTube replying to this. And here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem that he's really exposing, all right? Is that at no point do we as creators have any idea what's happening in these investigations, all right? So he goes on to say, Team YouTube, you really want to help this guy? If you think that's private information, hold on, you're poorly mistaken. Forgot to take Team YouTube. In case you guys didn't see the follow-up by this genius, we'll say, hey man, please don't post this part. I just want to apologize, bro. I don't want you to have any of those things happen to you, man. I hope you continue to be successful. You know why they wrote that? You know why they wrote that? Is because they got called out. And the things that they said were horrendous, and in fact well beyond what would be considered okay, even on the disgusting landscape that is Twitter. I actually felt bad at first after saying those things. After reading the rest of your bad tweets, I don't feel so bad anymore. Rotten hell, you piece of garbage. You're welcome for the views. So he went from trying to apologize to then going back to his bold position, telling a stranger on the internet to end themselves. Now, I don't support anything that this kid or YouTube or anybody is doing in this case. The problem is clear. There are multiple systems in place, whether it's the closed captioning report system, whether it's the privacy complaint system, whether it's people looking for a tiny exception in your video to say, oh, well, actually that violates policy. You have to be so careful what you have to say on YouTube these days. And even if you're careful, and even if you're like donut operator here and you're just doing what I believe is a 100% well within your rights, YouTube still allows people to bully and grief their own creators, and it uses this hands-off approach. Like, well, we don't get involved unless obviously it's Susie Liu. Then we get involved. It's absolutely ridiculous. YouTube needs to put in some filters before people can just file these type of complaints. It takes 5 seconds to grief a content creator. And on top of that, what happens is when these complaints get made, tons of videos end up getting deleted. Why? Because people don't speak out against it. Because they're afraid. Because they're afraid of retribution from YouTube. And I'm not trying to have a go at anybody in particular at YouTube. What I'm asking is that you put a very obviously a very obvious system in place to simply require people, I don't know, to prove that the person in question, you know, simply asking someone to say, hey, we're about to consider taking down a video from a content creator and possibly give them strikes and ruin their livelihood. Could you maybe provide a shred of evidence that the information you provided was perhaps private, or maybe a shred of evidence to maybe provide that you are actually the person filing the complaint here? That's all I'm asking for, YouTube. Literally the least amount of protection you could give your content creators, especially with everything going on right now. Everybody's stressed. Could you please make it a little harder for people to do this? Thanks. I appreciate you, buds. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.